I'm delighted to welcome you to this Parkinson's webinar and our new exciting national partnership with the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. And I'm Mark Gessner. I'll be directing the program. I'm based here in Tampa. We're going to go over briefly the project and some different pieces that hopefully proactively answer some questions. But really today is mostly to answer your questions about the application process. But we want to start with a warm welcome from our board president here in Tampa. So Rochelle Gross, if you could.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. On behalf of the Tampa JCCs and Federation, I want to welcome you and thank you for your interest in this program. We're very happy that we, after a lot of work by Mark Gessner, Panina, and Gary Gould, have the opportunity to partner with the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, and we're thrilled to be able to include the other JCCs. So thank you. We think it's a great opportunity for everybody, and let's get started.
Okay. Thanks, Rochelle. Rochelle's been a great support and champion of this work. So we are fortunate to have her as our board president here in Tampa. And then my close colleagues in delivering this project, you heard Rochelle mention Panina Levamore, and I would just like ask Panina to first just introduce yourself. Panina is going to be the community program lead for this national project and is really leads our Parkinson's program in Tampa. But Panina, say hello.
Thank you, Mark, and hi everybody. This is just a wonderful opportunity. It's great to see everyone. As Mark said, I am the community program lead, and I'll help to foster communication and connection with people in the Parkinson's community who are served by the JCCs, helping participants learn about the PPMI study, its impact, and the opportunities to contribute to Parkinson's research, while I'm also serving as a resource to the JCCs in developing programs and experiences that build community connection and engagement among people living with Parkinson's. And I do want to say that I'm thrilled to be part of this important initiative, and I'm excited about its potential to connect community and research in meaningful ways. And particularly, I'm pleased that the Michael J. Fox Foundation has reached out to us to develop this partnership. It speaks to the important role that strong communities can play in advancing Parkinson's research. So welcome everybody, and thank you.
Thanks, Panina. And Audrey Edwards, who's our colleague at JCCA. Could you introduce yourself, Audrey?
Sure. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I am the Health Wellness Aquatics Membership Advisor at JCC Association. Prior to my time with JCCA, I spent 30 years at the JCC of Greater Boston. And this programming it's magic. I was at Boston for over 30 years before I retired and brought some tremendous initiatives and some beautiful work to the agency and to the community. And the Parkinson's programming that we did over the last few decades was spectacular, really meaningful, very impactful. So when Mark and Panina reached out to share this initiative with the Fox Foundation, I rolled up my sleeves and couldn't be happier to do anything and everything I can to share it with the field and to help serve this incredible community. So thank you both.
Super. Thanks, Audrey. It's great working with you and another resource. And we've been collaborating with JCCA throughout this and are excited to really make sure we do our very best in making a success for individual JCCs and movement as a whole. So we're going to give you a brief overview of a few things so that hopefully you read the application already, but we'll kind of hit on a couple of high points, and we want to reserve most of this time for Q&A. So, and also Audrey, among her many other talents, will be monitoring the chat. So when question times come up, if you want to raise your hand or if you want to put something in the chat, whatever works for you, we'll talk about it. So I think most importantly, the question we get the most, and what I want to make clear around the overarching purpose of our collaboration with Michael J. Fox, it's on the PPMI study, which Panina is going to tell you a little bit more in a moment, but we are promoting engagement in this landmark study. And that is the central point of this particular partnership with them. But in the process, we are also developing programming at the Jays that participate so that a number of people have already asked questions, can we use money to help develop our Parkinson's program, or can we help, buy a piece of equipment for the Parkinson's program? Just about anything within the scope of building your Parkinson's program is part of this, because we're really, and Michael J. Fox folks understand that part of how we've built trusted relationships and how we are, being listened to by the community and they'll engage in the PPMI study is through what we've built at the local Jays and communicating through our programs and through various media, which I'll come back to. But the high level is, this is two parts. We're promoting the PPMI study, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a sec, and we're helping on the local level develop Parkinson's program at each JCC. So I want to go to this slide and ask Penina to dive a little bit more into what the PPMI is all about. Penina?
Thanks, Mark. So yeah, I'm sure many of you, PPMI is unfamiliar. It stands for the Parkinson's Precision Medicine Initiative, which is Michael J. Fox Foundation's landmark global research study. It follows people with and without Parkinson's over time to better understand how the disease begins, how it changes, and how it can ultimately be stopped. And the way to study something like that is to collect as big a cohort of research participants as possible. The study was launched in 2010, and recently there was a major exciting breakthrough with the identification of a biomarker that can detect Parkinson's-related biology even before its symptoms appear. And that breakthrough creates new opportunities for early detection and advances in precision medicine, meaning that it advances the goal of finding the right treatment for the right person at the right time. And it makes dealing with Parkinson's much more targeted effort that can benefit people who currently have Parkinson's, as well as people who don't yet have it and catch it over time. So the study involves thousands of people with and without Parkinson's to contribute health information, biological samples, and other data to the PPMI database study, which creates a powerful research resource that's then shared with scientists worldwide. There is a big push going on now because of this major development in identifying the biomarker. And for us, for this particular initiative and partnership, while PPMI welcomes participants who both do have and don't have Parkinson's through our partnership with Michael J. Fox, they're particularly seeking people who have Parkinson's to join the study. They have other sources in general, but they're targeting specifically people who have Parkinson's to join the PPMI study. And in particular, there's special interest in engaging people of Ashkenazi Jewish descent who have a higher genetic risk for Parkinson's. That makes the JCC community particularly relevant and important and attractive to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. Looking at our participants, will help researchers better understand the biological and genetic factors that may contribute to the disease. So our participants' involvement can provide valuable insights into how genetic factors influence Parkinson's risk and biology, and can help researchers move toward a more precise way of identifying and treating the disease. The JCC movement is uniquely positioned to help expand this participation. Our programmatic expertise, our trusted relationships with the Parkinson's community, our extensive digital and in-person research, in-person connection and reach can increase awareness of PPMI and connect more people in the Parkinson's community, and particularly of Ashkenazi Jewish descent, with opportunities to participate in this important research. So that is PPMI in a nutshell.
So there's a lot more out there, and we're obviously going to learn a lot more about it as we go on. And you'll see as we go over the timeline how some of that learning will take place. But thanks, Panina, for the description. And so here's, you saw it in the application, the more details about what we're looking for each participating JCC as their role. But as we've talked about, it's connecting to this research, PPMI in particular, continue to develop our programming, supporting the Parkinson's community, and then continue to build. Those of you who know, I think all of you have worked with Parkinson's community. I don't know, I feel like when I look here in Tampa and see our Parkinson's community, it's like the epitome sometimes of what a J does so well. People are connected, they're supporting each other. And in terms of Parkinson's, I think they're making each other healthier, or certainly delaying the further onset of disease through the community that we provide, and they co-create. So generally, what we're going to do for this initiative and this partnership, we're going to educate people about the PPMI. We'll do that in different ways, through lunch and learns, through materials. Michael J. Fox will be providing us with lots of information that we'll in turn be sharing, and we'll be trained on how to share it. So we're going to have great conversations, not just lectures, but whether it's in our programs or in social gatherings or whichever it is, to really make sure we are communicating and allowing people to ask questions about this research. The promotion is through, and you saw it in the application, this is through whether you're JCCE newsletters, maybe you have a local Jewish press, your social media. There's more detail on exactly and how we'll be looking to communicate, but we'll be working closely with the Fox Foundation on the marketing and PR. We'll have lots of rules and a big commitment of never using their logo without their collaboration and consent, but we'll get into that. So we're promoting it with the tools we have through our programs and through our media tools. And then we have to implement this, obviously at each JCC, implement these different pieces. There's some reporting parts. For marketing things, it's more basic metrics like impressions on social media, open rates for email listservs, basic things of that sort. How many participants we have in our programs that are being exposed to it. And then there's some qualitative narrative, but it's, frankly, I don't think too heavy of a lift, but we'll also have a training on more of the detail on that. So we can come, you might have questions about this. We have 2 more slides, then we'll take the slides off and just talk about all of these pieces. But this is the basic role, and it's in more detail in in the application addendum. So Panina is going to have a just real quick overview of what we do in Tampa and sort of how this, we grew up here in Tampa in this work. Panina?
Thanks, Mark. So just briefly, what we do in Tampa, we take a holistic approach to building community to address Parkinson's and work with our Parkinson's community. That means addressing the physical, mental, emotional, and social aspects of the way that Parkinson's affects quality of life. And you can see on the screen the variety of fitness classes that we have. We have support groups that are led by a licensed clinical social worker, voice therapy that's led by a board-certified speech and swallowing pathologist. We have informative lunch and learns where subject matter experts share expertise. We have social events where people can build community, get to know each other, build trust. We empower the community. There is a This Is Us peer-led forum where the participants take control. We have an advisory group of Parkinson's participants, and they provide advice, directions, suggestions for how we can grow the program, keep it relevant, and make sure that it addresses the needs of the community. You see the numbers there. And at the heart of our program is trust. Participants develop an ongoing relationship with with each other, with instructors, with the staff, with support groups, and with one another, creating an environment where they feel comfortable asking questions of each other, of us, sharing concerns, and exploring new opportunities. So there is a very tight-knit sense of community, and that trust creates a strong foundation for meaningful communication and engagement. information about Parkinson's care, research, and opportunities like the PPMI study. This is the foundation of our approach. It's community outreach and engagement, and it's what attracted Michael J. Fox Foundation to see. They experienced the numbers of people who were involved, the energy that they express, that they share, and the potential communication and connection and outreach. So we're thrilled. The program has grown. It continues to grow, and we are happy to share our model with the larger JCC community and learn from each other.
Great. Thanks, Panina. And I see questions are popping up, but I am going to do one last slide and then take the slides off. And that is just our timeline, which we mapped out in the application. This is the big kind of hallmarks. The deadline for those applications are this Friday, the 28th of August. We will hope to we will make fairly quick selections on the 10 JCCs that we can have participate in this initial pilot partnership with the Michael J. Fox Foundation. That's 10 plus Tampa, the Sean and Brian Glazer JCC being involved. October 21st is our orientation, where in this part of the funding that those selected will receive will be used to come to Tampa and have a full day orientation with Michael J. Fox Foundation leaders and with we have a wonderful local partnership with Tampa General Hospital. You'll get a full taste of what's going on here, but it's really an orientation for those participating on how to implement the partnership. And then January 10th, in this, I am sure that Panina would be happy to have everybody who's interested participate either in person or online on our symposium. This is a major event here that won't go into detail now, but we had 500 in person at our last one with another 200 plus online. And it's really an extraordinary collection of the Parkinson's community and experts, including Michael J. Fox. And then we wrap up this initiative at the end of April, on April 30th. So it's pretty quick. Quick ramp up, quick implementation relatively, and then we wrap up on April 30th. So I am going to stop sharing the presentation and get everybody in view. And so that's the summary, and I think we just want to launch into questions now. And Audrey, maybe you want to help with
Sure. So let me
questions.
go through the ones that have been in the chat, and when we get
Yeah.
to those, if people just want to popcorn and raise their hands, totally fine.
Yeah.
First question from Michelle at the Strom JCC. They're currently running Rock Steady, and she'd like clarification if some of this grant could be used to boost their Rock Steady program in addition to running the Fox programming.
Yes. And so a lot of people have had questions on what can they support their existing Parkinson's programming? And the answer is yes. As long as you are doing the required thing, which has to do with some expense on media promotion, attending the October 21st session, that'll be part of the 18,000 award. But beyond that, you'll check with us. But essentially, if it's focused on your Parkinson's community and it helps you build your Parkinson's programming, it should be covered.
Great. We have a couple questions from Common Point. The first, do the people we reach out to need to be exclusively Jewish and Ashkenazi?
That's a great question. No, the answer is no. The focus, like Panina had mentioned before, they're certainly trying to engage as many who fit that category, but they do not have to be Jewish or Ashkenazi Jews.
Great. Can some of the programming we're offering be done virtually, or is the expectation that it's all live in the building?
Absolutely can do programming virtually. We, Panina, Sam, and others here do a lot of that. And if it's being offered by your JCC and it's to your members or whoever you're involving in this Parkinson's programming, that's kosher. Good.
Good. A required demographic for who Fox wants for the research participants.
That's, I guess, sort of like the other question. I don't know, Panini, you want to reiterate sort of a little bit of the PPMI answering
Yeah,
that?
so the study itself really is focusing on people over 40, but beyond that, there really are no demographic specifications. Again, they're looking specifically for people who do have Parkinson's, and that would be the qualifier, I would say. But beyond that, there aren't any limitations.
Got it. Regarding scale, Panina spoke about her programming reaching over 1,000 people and being engaged. Is that what the expected goal is, or is there a metric that Fox is looking for?
The only thing that's required is that you already do some Parkinson's programming. You do that's yes, many years that took to develop the program in Tampa, but no, the expectation is that you already do something. So there was some interest of people who want to get started. This is not for them. This is if you have whether it's one rock steady boxing class or 5 different things or more. But other than that, there's not a number. There's not like you have to have X number of people already involved.
Got it.
Okay.
How many hours do we anticipate the liaison at the J needing to commit to this? Weekly,
Yeah.
monthly?
So we're going to learn this together. I'll give you what we think is the answer to that is we're going to have a monthly 1 hour call as a group so that we can support each other and learn from each other. There's going to be the monthly reporting, which will probably, we think, take an hour or 2 in total for you to collect some of the metrics and write some narrative and probably add some story. We may have some press along the way. We want to give individuals the option, in addition to the group meeting, if you ever need support, and you need to call Panina, Audrey, me to have questions individually. We want to be here for that, but that's an as needed basis. So, and then there's obviously your programming, whatever it takes for you to implement your programming. So the summary is an hour meeting a month after we do the initial orientation, probably an hour or 2 of reporting, and then as needed from there.
2 questions related to expenses for the training in Tampa. I'm going to answer the question with a question. The grant will pay for the expense of you going to Tampa for the 1-day training. And then someone else asked, do we have any idea ballpark on the expense?
Yeah, so you sort of answered part, right, Audrey? So
Right.
part of it, yes. So the funding that the selected JCCs get do cover your travel to Tampa in the hotel that you'll be, pay for. We're going to reserve a block, so we hopefully get a decent rate near our JCC here. And so those 2 pieces are covered. And was there another part, Audrey?
No, I think that's it. And depending on where you're flying from, I would, if in order to create the budget, just pop online and see how much a round trip airfare is.
Which is tried. We didn't, wasn't a ton of ramp up time, but we tried to give you, I think, at least 6 weeks to make reservations and things so that you get a reasonable rate.
And just one piece of input for that is the day of the orientation, your breakfast will provide breakfast and lunch. So, I mean, as far as meals go, you just take that into consideration.
Audrey, I don't know if there's more, but there's also people raising their hand. We're glad for people to talk too, but are there more in the chat, Audrey?
They keep popping up. Let me see. Hold on.
Okay. Well,
Look,
while you're looking,
have a few people.
I see Julia's hand is very politely raised here for a while. So you want to tell us your question, Julia?
Yes, I think, this is probably the question on everybody's mind, but what would you recommend might be the best way for an applicant to set their application apart from anybody else who might just meet the basic eligibility for this funding?
That's a great question. Well, I think it's, I'll take a shot, and if others, Audrey or Panina, so I think we want to see that you've been focused on this work in some way that this is important to your community, that you have the capacity to promote it in meaningful ways, whether that's your newsletter, the Jewish press, the combination of ways that you promote your programming. That's really a requirement. So we want to make sure as robust as possible promotions are happening. And then, frankly, it's also, we're hopefully going to get some geographic, that this is not anything you can do about your application, but I think just to be honest, some geographic spread throughout the country if we can. So it's exciting to see people from all over the country, that your heart is in it. That's what I would say when I'm reading it, that this really matters a lot to your Jay. But Panina, Audrey, any other thoughts?
It's if your heart is in it, that I would underscore that, because this is about building relationships. And so if you do have if your heart is in it, if you have a passion for it, if you understand it, and a real drive to connect with your Parkinson's community, that's going to come through. And that's critical. I think that goes along.
Sorry, and just to clarify, I'm at one of the Toronto JCCs. This also extends out to Canada, correct?
I'm sorry about this part, but we have been asking the foundation if it can, and at this point they said it cannot.
Oh no!
But we've gone back, but the issue is their capacity of supporting research centers and things there. So at this point, unfortunately, it's a no, but we have posed this question now a couple of times and they're looking into it one last time. But as we speak now, it's not.
Julia,
I'm so sorry.
Don't be too discouraged. I'm working on a few other programs that will include the Canadian JCC, so
got it.
I'm watching out for you.
Thank you so much, Audrey. I saw Calgary on here too, so I figured I was like, oh, maybe we're good, but glad I double checked. Thank you.
We'll let you know if they change their mind, but at this point, that's where it's at. But who else? Other questions?
Denise Wolf is raising her hand.
Yes. Hello. Hello. I'm sorry. I was a few minutes late. I'm sorry about that. And I don't know if someone asked this already, but we are an integrated community here in Youngstown. And so our agency includes both, the JCC, obviously, but a nursing home and an assisted living facility. And we do Parkinson's programming in all three facilities, most here, but I wanted to see if we could incorporate those agencies as well, since we're integrated.
Yeah, that is a great question. And we are integrated here as well in Tampa JCCs and Federation. Although our programming really happens out of the JCC, I want to probably get back to you, Denise, to be crystal clear, but I think if it's connected to your JCC in some meaningful way, that'll make it count or be part of it. But please put that in your application and explain that scope so that we can maybe refine it with the Fox Foundation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Audrey, do you see anyone else, or is anyone else raising their hand?
I'm kind of trying to manage. How long does current Parkinson's programming have to be running in order to qualify?
Oh, you mean, have you been running it for a year, or if you just started 3 days ago? I don't know. We don't actually have a number, but if it's been implemented, I would say more than 3 days, but it doesn't have to be for 10 years, some substantive amount of time. If in doubt, apply. Even if you did start a week ago, please apply or follow up too. We're all available. My email is out there. Give a call or send me a note so that we can talk about more of your individual situation.
Diva asked, oh, hold on, it just popped. Are caregivers and or family members encouraged to participate in the program?
Panina, why don't maybe you can talk a little bit about our support groups and caregiver stuff.
Yes, so absolutely. In terms of the program, we welcome caregivers to participate. essentially they have Parkinson's too. It just manifests in a different way. So we are there for them. They are definitely part of the community. As far as participating in PPMI study goes, Michael J. Fox is looking specifically for people with Parkinson's. But in terms of your outreach and your programming, absolutely. And in fact, for some people who have Parkinson's who are more challenged physically, it's often helpful, and we encourage care partners to participate with them. So yes, by all means. And we do have support groups specifically for partners because, as I said, they also experience Parkinson's themselves. So yes, that's a long way of saying yes.
Another question, can we speak more about what kind of role the JCCs will have in the enrollment of the study? Will we need to help participants enroll online or just promote the study?
Yeah, great question. And we are still working this out, but the general answer is we promote. That's our role. And in fact, each JCC chosen will have a distinct link that they'll be given from the Fox Foundation, and they will let us know how many people. They'll give us some metrics in return of how many people are enrolling, but really our job is to promote. Was there another? I think I just saw something else pop up, Audrey. What was it? Let's see. And if we're missing your question, please raise your hand.
Are there specific waivers that will need to be signed to participate in the study?
Yeah, and Michael J. Fox will manage that. So we get them to the water and then they help them drink over at the foundation. So yeah.
Another question.
They'll handle all the research and all that protocol. And as I think you all know, I mean, they are the really premier research entity in this field. And so they have lots of protocol.
Hannah, do you want to ask a question before I read the next one?
Sure, I just wanted to jump in really quickly. And one of them might be mine that you read, so you can skip it. My apologies, I was held up in a meeting, so you may have already said this, but can you tell me a little bit more about who the liaison needs to be and the parameters around who we ask to do that? Is it the program people doing executive,
Yeah,
whoever?
sure. So while we won't prescribe it, clearly if you have a program lead, like part of Panina's role is the director of our Parkinson's program. So if you have something akin to that person's likely the obvious lead. Some of you may have someone in your fitness who leads this, or someone in active adults. Their programming, generally, I think the programming people will make sense. Now, that doesn't mean we can't have more involved. And particularly, I know, Audrey, you're a proponent of having at least two people connected in some meaningful way. So we actually hope we're going to require one person that uses the funding to come to Tampa. But if you want to bring two, that's great. We're happy to have two to get it. Maybe it's your development person and marketing, someone else besides the program person. So it's not a specific requirement, but it's who the most involved. Is that enough?
Yeah, that answers great. And then just a follow up too, since we're a union house, so we need to make sure that we're for hours and travel and things that we're staying within the union guidelines. And so I think something like this might be a little bit outside what I have done with our union employees. And I was wondering if you have any thoughts or advice, or if you have done anything like this, assuming if we get it. I want to make sure I cover all bases before we even apply. If we get this, is this the kind of thing, any advice on working with our union members and making sure we're staying within union agreements and hours for things like travel?
Audrey, any guidance on this?
I have no guidance whatsoever. I would probably talk to your HR team.
Okay.
Yeah, no idea.
No problem.
Sorry.
All right. I completely agree with that guidance, Audrey. That's good. All right. What else?
Another question that keeps popping. Great question. If we get selected for this grant, I would say when we get selected for this grant this year, will it be a recurring event grant, and do people have to reapply year after year?
We hope so, but right now, this agreement, this partnership is for the time period that described earlier, through the end of April. So we hope to repeat and expand and include a lot more JCCs, absolutely, after we have in the extraordinary success we're destined to have with this. But go ahead, Danina. Yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted to say is that a lot would depend on the success. If we show that we really do have produced good numbers, that would I think, be a strong inducement for Michael J. Fox to extend for another year. And what I would say is that this is the culmination of a relationship with Michael J. Fox Foundation that has developed over time, and they have seen an increasing degree of impact with the community. So as long as that continues, yeah, there's reason to hope that this will be extended.
Yeah. Michelle has a hand up.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Hi. Because this person would be traveling from Seattle, Washington to Tampa, I imagine that they will have to fly in the night before and possibly even stay the night after. I don't know how long the orientation will go to. So as I'm building up the budget, do I put in 2 nights of hotel in there? Yeah.
Yeah. And we reserve the block for 2 nights for just that
thanks.
reason, Michelle.
Okay, thank you.
And the train, and it's a full day. We're from, what do we say, I think 8 to 4, 9 to 4. It's really a full day. So it'd be hard for West Coast folks to make it back. Yeah.
Is there a minimum amount of programming hours that need to be done per day or per week?
There's not a specific number that we have in mind, but we're looking for robust engagement with the Parkinson's community. So realizing some may have just 1 or 2 classes or programs, others may have a lot more. I would say if you only have 1, and I know I've gotten a few questions, emails from people who have just 1 program, that please apply still. And in your application, if you have goals to expand that, share that. Talk about how you're going to deepen your commitment to the Parkinson's community would be good for us to know.
A few participants have alluded to programming. Can you please confirm whether you are referring to Michael J. Fox programming or the agency's regular Parkinson's programming?
It's the latter. It's the agency's Parkinson's programming. Michael J. Fox is research through and through, and they are focused on us promoting this PPMI study. They understand, though, that we develop connection and can promote and build trust through our programming, and that's part of the reason why these funds can also go to that. But no, it's JCC programming, Parkinson's programming that you do at your JCC, not them. What else?
Caroline.
Audrey, you're really good at this. So.
Thank you. Caroline was raising her hand so politely. You go.
I'm just smiling from ear to ear that we're at this point. Panina, Audrey, Mark.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi. I recall the time that we worked together and started the Parkinson's program. So this is just making me smile so much and really looking forward to applying. And we've had a program for a long, long time, but there's some areas in which we've really wanted to go a little bit deeper. And so I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to do that potentially if we're selected. So thank you for doing this so much.
Thank you, Caroline.
And thanks to the few comments I've been seeing, like, love this. This is cool. So
exciting.
Thank you.
Someone asked if the Fox Foundation will promote the results of the JCC's initiative.
Well, we're going to start with a joint press release. So we do want to leverage this in different ways. So that's part of it. But I think your substantive question is the results of maybe how many people sign up is what I'm inferring from that. I mean, we'll know that. We'll know how many people enroll. They're going to share with that. But beyond that, maybe whoever wrote that could clarify if you're looking for more of an answer.
Yeah, I think the only thing I just want to tag on to what has been said that keeps resonating with me is the Fox Foundation, this initiative, it's about reach. They want volume, they want reach, they want us really, really tapping our community and our resources to provide people for this study. And I think when you're programming, when you're thinking about when you're applying, how you're going to market it and what you're going to do, remember that goal as well. The programming, the actual programming or support group or whatever you're doing is amazing. But I would say to keep in mind what the Fox Foundation goal is as well.
Okay.
So both need to be true.
And I'd actually like to piggyback on that to mention that you might be thinking, well, we have the small Parkinson's program. Well, we don't have all that many Parkinson's participants, but you don't know how many people out there within your Jewish community membership have Parkinson's. And so your reach involves not just the people who are participating in your Parkinson's program, but your entire JCC membership.
And community.
And community, yes, and community.
Anyone else have any questions?
How much should go? I just saw one pop up. How much of the budget should go towards marketing? Again, we don't have a particular percentage of the budget that we have in mind, but I will say this, that if you think about different ways of promoting it, some of it is internal, right? You have your newsletter membership, or maybe you have it to the broader Jewish community, and you just are putting it in those newsletters, and they don't actually, you're getting in-kind support because it's your own communication. That's great. But it would be good to see in your application, whether it's a Jewish press or other ways you're reaching this community, like Audrey was talking about, like that you're coming up with the ways to broaden the reach, and that may take some budget. Tell us what that is, and that matters in this. So we don't have a specific number in mind, but substantive outreach matters. Okay. All right. So yes, 5 p.m. deadline. You pretty grant writers, you want to know that very good. Yes. Through Friday. Yeah, we hope very much we're glad to stay on a little longer, but I just want to say thanks so much. This is tremendous interest. Obviously a lot of excitement in the field, and we really feel, I think, honored here in Tampa to help secure this agreement and lead this initiative. And we want to collaborate in all ways that make sense for everybody and really grow the programs all over the place that meaningfully support the Parkinson's community. If you have questions between now and Friday, make sure, my email is on there. Please send it to me. And I always share it with Penina and Audrey so that we make sure we cover our bases. And yeah, if anyone wants to hang on further with questions, but thank you very much for being part of this. Really appreciate it.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you all.
I think somebody else might have had a question. I'm going to hold on here for a little bit. I thought I saw a late hand go up.
Ellen Roberts.
Seeing lots of thank yous.
Oh, good. Oh, and hearts.
So exciting. I love all the little hearts. I didn't know you could do that on Zoom.
Oh, yeah. Erin.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm going to play the new card, okay, because I am new. Denise was on here. She's actually our director of our JCC here at Youngstown Area Jewish Federation, but I'm the new grant writer. So I just am I applying for the funding through JCC for our JCC only, or because she had asked the question because we're combined we have an assisted living program with Lovey Gardens and Heritage Manor. Are those programs separately to be allowed to apply, or is this all under the umbrella of our JCC for one grant?
This is focused on JCCs, but what I said to her before, we too in Tampa are integrated, Tampa JCCs and Federation.
Okay.
Really, Parkinson's is part of our whole organization.
Okay.
And so, clarify what it is you want to do and have going on. And if we have questions, we'll talk to you about it. Okay. But why don't you share with us your vision of making the most out of this?
Okay, that's so helpful. Thank you. I just want to make sure I'm putting it correct when I go to put it in forum. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Another question in the chat, Mark, is the 250 word limit only for the summary.
Yeah, you can, if you have more things to list under the specific questions about programs, I mean, I guess we would appreciate it not being
voluminous.
something, make sure it's not too long that we don't read the whole thing, but if you need a little more space for some other section, I'm trying to think what that might be, what success looks like. I mean, please be reasonable, I guess is the request, but we didn't put word limits on the others. Okay. All right. Seems like we
I think we're
have it.
good. Thank
So,
you all so much.
yeah, thanks very much, everyone, hanging on, and reach out if you have more questions.
Good luck with your programs, everybody.
Yeah.